This is a kind of recap of the Blue Note Unissued Master Series history by the King Record here in Japan. Hi, this is Takashi Noha from Jazz Blues Japan. Yes, as I said, I've talked about Blue Note Unissued Master Series by the King Record many times in the past. But I just want to recap of the history of Blue Note Unissued Master Series by the King. If you look into it, digging the history of the Blue Note Unissued Master Series by the King Record, there are three parts, part 1, 2, and 3. And the part 1 titles were released in the late 70s. Actually, I think it was in 1978. And in the part 1 of the Blue Note Unissued Master Series, there were only 7 titles released. And the part 2 and the part 3, many, more than 20 titles, I think, in those, part 2 and 3. And if you look at the titles of the part 1 Blue Note Unissued Master Series, I think it's a kind of interesting, I'll show you 2 titles that I have right now. Yes, these are the 2 titles out of 7, that they released as a part 1 of the Blue Note Unissued Master Series. This one, very popular, right? Lee Morgan All-Star Sextet. And this one is, Chick Corea Circulars, volume 1. And they are volume 2 too. 1 and 2, right? And this one also, Lee Morgan All-Star Sextet. And also the, Lee Morgan Sextet. Yes. So these are the 2 titles out of 7 titles that they released. And the others are like, Art Blakey at Renaissance Club is one of them. And I think, Jackie McLean, Hypnosis. And Stanley Tarentine, Jubilee Shouts. And what else? Yeah, those are the 7 titles, right? And if you look at these 2 titles, they are obi, right? And I don't know whether you notice, these obis are quite different, to compare to the, part 2 and part 3 titles. This obi is quite different. Yeah, in the part 2 titles, they put the obi, a blue obi, but it's not like this, If you look at this in the part 1 obi, yes, you may have noticed that, it is very close to the GXF and the GXK series, right? They are almost identical, very popular, fat, white, blue obi, that's what I call, very, very wide, blue obi, right? Yes. And a part 2 of the Blue Note Unissued Master Series, they put the blue obi, but the color blue is quite different. I think it's much darker blue, and yeah, and also the fonts and the color of the letters different. Yeah, kind of different. Yeah. So I think it's kind of rare that these part 1 titles on the market right now. I think even this Chick Corea Circulars volume 1 and 2, and also the other Lee Morgan Sextet also very rare, very hard for you to get them on the market, even here in Japan nowadays, especially with the obi, especially with the good condition, So, as I said, I repeat again, in the part 1 of Blue Note Unissued Master Series, there are only 7 titles, and those titles are kind of rare nowadays, especially with the obi, yes. And a part 2 and a part 3, of course, all of those titles present in those part 2 and 3 are great, as you know, like Grant Green titles and Lee Morgan titles and the rest. as you know. That's a history and a legend, right? And if you look at the part 3 of the Blue Note Unissued Master Series, um, I don't have the copies right now, but part 3 they use the kind of golden obi, not blue obi like part 2, you know. So they use the golden obi in the part 3 titles. So that kind of thing, starting from part 1 and a part 2 and a 3, they changed a little bit, from part 1 to 2 and from 2 to 3, like obi design and also the serial. They use the GXF serial in the part 1 and 2, and in between part 2 they started using GXK, and part 3 serial is purely GXK, and also obi is not blue, golden obi. So that kind of transition, and that is the whole history of Blue Note Unissued Master Series by the King Record. And as I said at the beginning, GXF serial and a part 1 of Blue Note Unissued Master Series, I think nowadays are becoming very, very hard for you to get them, really, like these titles. So I think whatever you find it or find them on the market, any kind of title, either it is a hypnosis, a Blakey, a Renaissance Club, or Lee Vaughan Sextet or All Star Sextet. Yeah, I think go get them. That's my recommendation. Yes, that's it for today. I hope you like this whole story and whole history of the Blue Note Unissued Master Series by the King Record. Lastly, I thank you for watching today, and I always keep praying, wishing you guys, family members, co-workers, everybody to be safe in this pandemic situation. I hope it'll be over soon, very, very soon. So just keep staying safe. And yeah, God bless you guys. And thank you for everything. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.